Okay, welcome back to Copland Academy. Today we are going to learn how to use variants. And as you can see, I had moved the button interactions lesson to the lessons folder right here. So if you want to check that out, you can go into the repository link in the description, and then you can like check it out and see whatever you can pull from that lesson, right? But yeah, in the meantime, let us just get to it. So we have this simple cars array right here, and then we are displaying it using our motion on ordered list and then our motion list right here. Now, we want to learn how to use variants, right? But you might ask yourself that why would we ever need variants? But and this is where we want to say this, right? What variants helps you to do is you get to create a set of animations, so you get to create animations and then pretty much reuse these animations or keep calling these animations like over and over again, right? And then also if you have elements that are inside elements, like a situation that we have like this, including a whole list and stuff like that, what we can do is we can apply certain styles to this element, which is the container element, and then based on this style, then we can trigger the items that are inside the container elements, which in this case is the list of cars, right? Now, in trying to understand variants, we are going to try to recreate a really cool animation that like we see in a bunch of lists, right? Which is I don't know if I can pretty much like describe the whole thing to you, right? But you see it appear like, okay, Toyota, we have the Honda, and then we have the Ford, then we have the Chevrolet, and then it comes one by one, between certain time intervals, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so now that we understand what the animations is going to look like, and we want to be able to recreate these animations multiple times using our variants, let's understand the syntax of how variants work, right? Okay, cool. All right. So, first of all, right, variance isn't too crazy. In order for us to be able to create one, we are simply going to come here and create we are going to create an object, right? So we can even say something like car container, car container, right? Just like that. And we can open it up like this, right? Now, just like the way we set our animations in the previous lessons, right? It's pretty much almost the same concepts, right? Um, and we can just define the names of these sub objects inside this particular object, right? So how do we define the names? You can give it any name, right? But at the end of the day, we want to be able to define um what the state of our elements is going to look like at the beginning, and then like what it's going to look like at the end, right? That is what we want to, that is our goal, right? So in order for us to be able to achieve that, what we are going to do is we're going to create a another object inside our object, right? So we're going to say we're going to call it hidden, right? You can call it any name, but at the end of the day, it has to be something that you can easily understand and translate and like debug or whatever projects that you're working on, right? Yeah, it should make sense to you in general. All right, so we have the opacity, and for the opacity, we can set that, right? You can set that to 0, just like that, just like we did for the other one, just like that. So you can see. So this is for hidden, right? So this hidden is what we are going to be put this hidden object, right? Just like how we defined in here, is what we are going to be putting inside our initial prop, right? Cool. Fire stuff. Now, the next thing we want to work on or want to add is how the item or how the component or the element will look like once it shows, right? So you can add this visible prop and then just say, oh, yeah, so it's automatically adding the things that I wanted to add. But yeah, I want us to understand this step by step. So let's just do that. So we have the opacity here again, and we can just set that to 1, right? So once we set that to 1, it means that um when we pass, when at the beginning the container is going to show, at the beginning the container is just going to appear, like it's just going to appear out of nowhere, right? And yeah, using the opacity property that we set here, right? But how do we see this happen? Like, how do we make sure we see this happen? what we are going to do is you're going to come right here, and then we are going to pass in variance, right? And then this variance that we are passing into the car container right here, what we are going to do is we're going to call it car container. We're just going to pass in this, right? So you see, now that we've passed it in, you would assume that the property should automatically apply to it, right? But no, because like I said before, we should be able to create like a set of animations and like reuse them so many times, right? So what if you have like a bunch of different other animation objects and their names and stuff like that, right? What if you have something like that? You see, it's going to be complicated. So we have an awesome way of specifying which particular animation objects that we want to assign to each and every single one of them. So you can see right here that we have what we took the hidden prop, we took the initial prop, right, and then we set it to be hidden in string. So it's just looking at this object's name, right, inside the car container. So we set it to hidden. So for the initial, it's just going to take these values that we set inside right here, the opacity 0, right? It's just the same as what we did for this one right here, right? And then for the animate prop that we have right here, it's just going to set the values for visible right here. It's going to set the values that we have in the object visible, right? Exactly. So now that we understand this, if I try to refresh, yeah, it's very subtle. It's very subtle. So what we can do is we can add a transition. Oh, what happened? Yeah, we can add a transition. Yeah, what's going on? A transition, and then set that to be a duration. Set that to be a duration of 5, so you can see the difference. Right, you see the difference? You see right here. Cool, fire stuff, amazing stuff, right? So now that we can see that the variant has also applied the same stylings that we set right above here, let us also set the stylings for the lists, right? Okay, cool. But before we set the stylings for the lists, I want us to understand one concept inside the variants thing that we can do here. You see, the animation I said we wanted to implement was not this. It was just not this, right? We wanted to make sure that the Honda, Ford, Chevrolet, like the other cars in here, right? They can just appear, one by one, right? Exactly. So because we want to apply that type of style, and like I said before at the very beginning, the variants allow us to modify the motion or the state of elements that are inside other container elements, right? So because of that situation, especially it being in a list and stuff like that, what we can do is we can just add a property here called, so let me just add this, just call it what? Staggered children, right? So this is actually the name, that it's staggered children, right? And we can set it to like a bunch of speeds. Most people like to set it to 10. Most people like to set it to 0.15, right? And like others too also like to set it to 0.20, but like it's still 0, so it's still 0.2. So yeah, so we can leave it, we can leave it at that, right? So this stagger children, all that it does is it's just saying, oh, you can display the children inside here, but I mean at the end of the day, when you're displaying them, you want to leave like 0.2 seconds in every, like in between, right? I don't know, is it 2 seconds or 0.2 seconds? But yeah, you want to leave these seconds in between the list, right? So I don't, will we see the results from here? Yeah, we won't see the results directly from here, right? So that's because we need to do one last thing, right? So we've been able to set the variant for the container, right? Now, how do we apply styles to the actual list so that when it is actually staggering the children, we would see the results, like we'll be able to control how we will see the results, right? So in order for us to be able to do that, let's create another constant and say, oh, car item, right? And yeah, Okay, so this was actually pretty fast using the autocomplete, but all we did was we just created the car item object just like we did for the earlier variant, and then we created this object called hidden, and then inside the hidden, for the initial animation, we set it to be an opacity of 0 because obviously at the beginning we wouldn't have anything on the screen, we didn't have any of these items on the screen, and then we wanted to come from the bottom right upwards. If you remember the previous lesson that we learned about this X Y axis in frame of motion type situation, you would understand why it works like this. And then we set this visible object to as well for the opacity of 1, and then it will come back into its original position, which is 0, right? So this is for when nothing is on the screen, and then this is for what would happen when the list finally gets on the screen, right? It finally displays on the screen. So now that we understand this, what we want to quickly do is we want to come and set the variance just like we did, right? So I can just click on that, and then you can see that the variance has been set to car item. And like I said, you wouldn't see the animation display. Yeah, okay, so obviously you are seeing it display, right? But yeah, just like we learned in the other one, right? Just like we learned in the other one right here, right? We need to also make sure that we are setting up uh the initial and then the animate, right? Just to be safe. So initial